everybody, welcome to the Geekdom. This is Lady Kaylah here, and today I'm going to do a rather long-winded vlog about my writing and, my plans and what's going on, and I just have a lot on my mind, and I'm hoping that this will help motivate me to write, as well as give some of you the opportunity to share what's going on with your writing experiences. And I just need to see if there's anyone out there who feels the way I do, because it's not like I have any friends that are writers, so I can't really discuss this on a level where we both kind of have similar understanding. So it's kind of weird because I feel like I have a passion for writing and yet I don't do it, and it's really upsetting and kind of stops me from writing, because I think, like, well, if you have a passion for something, nothing should get in your way, yet I let everything get in my way, even though I have really great ideas, and sometimes I jot down notes, and I don't do anything with that after I've jotted it down, and so that's pretty sad. And I feel like I just need to stop making excuses. I need to stop, I don't know why, just the thought of writing and doing something with it, I have like big hopes and dreams for it, and then at the same time I'm like, oh, those hopes and dreams are nothing but hopes and dreams. Nothing's gonna come of it. And so it's just like this internal conflict. It's just always at odds, and I'm just like, well, you don't know unless you give it a shot. So I'm going to stop telling myself that it's not going to happen, and that to just do it and see if anything does happen, because if I don't do anything, then obviously nothing's going to happen. So the first thing that is on my mind all the time is my book. I want to write a book. I want to write a novel. I don't want to write like some kind of short little teeny tiny like story. I don't want to write, something short and simple. I want to write a novel, like the fantasy novels that I love to read, and that's what I'm working on. And it's another thing that kind of holds me back is people surprised that I'm tackling a novel when I don't write like short stories or anything on the side, and I don't really write anything else other than some poems here and there. And people, I don't know, they think like, people don't do that. They don't just randomly decide to write a novel without any other kind of prior writing experience or writing anything in general. So that kind of scares me as well, because I'm like, I don't write short stories on the side. I don't write anything on the side, and all of a sudden I think I can put out a novel. So it's kind of scary. So I decided, to do side projects so I can get that writing experience, and it can only benefit me. So I'm just thinking about some side things, and for my novel, I haven't like so much as touched it for like 2 years. I recently reread it, and I know that this novel is like my baby. It's not like something that, you start and then you're just like, trash it and or forget about it. It's always on my mind, and I recently reread it after not touching it for like 2 years, and the idea is still there. It's like, it's on my heart. Like, this story is in my heart. Like, I just need to somehow get it from here to the paper, and I will have like best thing I've ever created. I know it, and so I just need to get that done. It's not like I started this and I'm like, oh, this is lame, and then got rid of it. No, I mean, it took me a while to get a foundation started, but once I did, I knew that this was my story, because I've done it before. I've started writing like stories or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this project, and then I've just stopped writing it, forgot about it, and never picked it up again. This is something totally different. Like, every once in a while I get a burst of inspiration, and I write down like an idea for my novel, and the only thing is I never take that idea that I jotted down and make it into a chapter or make it into something that will progress my book. So that's what I need to start doing. I have tons of notes that I need to start forming into chapters or forming into little bits and pieces that are going to be woven into my story and do something. And while I do that, I hope to do some side projects because I'm tired of people freaking me out with this whole, like, you can't just start with a novel thing. A side project I'm thinking is a poetry book. I have poems that I adore that I've written that range from like my middle school years till like now, and they're pretty random and all over the place. Obviously they represent different times in my life, different emotions, different situations, and I feel like if I do put like my poems together in one book, it's like gonna be like no theme. I can't like separate it to like, oh, these are like love poems, these are like, you know, nature poems, I don't know. So I'm kind of freaked out about that because, I don't know, when I read poetry, poetry books, they're usually like separated into categories, or the entire little book has a theme. And also my poetry is very kind of personal because I'm not like one of those people who has the talent to look at an object or look at a scene and automatically a poem can be just, I don't know, expressed from just looking at something. Some people have the talent for that. I can't. I've tried. Sometimes I am inspired by nature and so on and so forth, but it's not like, you could literally go up to some people and say, here's a piece of paper, write a poem about it. And they'll write a poem about that piece of paper right on the spot. I can't do that. I have to be emotionally moved. And so my poetry is sometimes nonsensical, but it makes sense to me. So I'm kind of freaked out about if I put in a book, either nobody will understand it or nobody will like it. But I feel like it would be good for me because I need to be prepared for critique if I want to be a writer. And obviously getting a poetry book put together and published will kind of give me an idea of what it's like to have a book published and put together. So that will be some experience that I would need as a writer as well. So I was hoping to get that done this winter break, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get that put together just yet. I still have to find a lot of my poetry that's pretty much all over the place and put it together, figure out what poems I want, what I don't want. And my godmother owns like a little publishing company, so I'm going to be asking for her counsel a lot. So that's a side project. I'm also going to do side stories so I can get writing experience, and obviously these side stories I don't plan on getting published or anything, so I don't feel like it's going to be anything serious. I feel like I could be more just like frivolous about it and just use it as a way to kind of gain experience writing. And since it's not anything special or close to my heart, I'm hoping that I can just put it in public places, so it'll just be open for critique just publicly, and hopefully that will help me with my writing experience as well. And I was planning to do that with the Pathfinder stories because playing Pathfinder, the pen and paper RPG, is the perfect place to get a story. I mean, you have your character who's hopefully very in-depth and detailed. You have like a background story for them. You have what kind of lives they lead, and if you're not the DM, you have someone basically giving you a story that you can take from there and write. And as you go along and role play with other people, you can see other people's actions, other people's way of role playing, and there you can get a perspective of different kinds of characters. And it's just, I think it's the perfect way to start a story and get a foundation for a story. So I'm hoping to have that as like a little side project for writing, and if anybody wants to read those stories to help me gain some kind of experience and help correct me or guide me. I'm hoping that I could put that in a public place for that to happen. Another project that I'm going to plan to do, which right now is just like not on my list of things that I want to do immediately, but I plan on starting perhaps someday, is writing a children's book. So I don't know, someone who I really trust in their opinion and their advice, they told me that starting with children's books is a really great place to start, and ever since they told me that, I just thought about it more and more, and the more I think about it, the more I think it's a great idea. And so after my poetry book, I was planning to do a children's book, but right now that's not really on my to-do list. So I'm hoping that I can start the Pathfinder stories right now. I can work on my novel bit by bit now, and the poetry book, basically I just have to collect the poems that I already have and see what happens from there. I'm hoping that some of my weaker poems I can not remake, but kind of improve upon and make them stronger. And basically a lot of my poems are notes of what I'm feeling, so I can kind of just like take what I was feeling and kind of improve upon it and make more clear what I was feeling exactly. So hopefully that works out. And yeah, so those are my plans for right now. Sorry if this is all over the place. I don't even know if it made sense because I'm like half blabbing. So that's what my plans are at the moment, and hopefully I get to figuring things out. At least I have some goals. I just need to start working on them, and it's a long time coming, but better late than never, I guess. So yeah, I'm hoping this gets moving along. So sorry to keep you guys waiting, and sorry that you guys had to listen to this. If you watched all the way through, thank you so much. If interested, you can find me all over the place on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at the Lady Kaylah, and I have Tumblr and all that in the description below. So if you want to check me out other than YouTube, you can. So thank you for your time. Bye.